What's up guys, it's Devin of ThatChildGamer, and today I've got something just a tad bit different for you today. I apologize if I sound very exhausted. I just came home from walking around, my feet are killing me, and I'm finally sitting down for a change. I've got my Sayori background going on. I found this off the internet and I think it looks amazing, so I put it as my desktop background. That's completely not what the topic of the video is going to be about, but I ended up buying an interface. As you guys may have been aware of, I have a microphone. There's one right here, the condenser microphone. There's all my Minecraft notes. That's 7707, I don't even know what that is. But I have all the things, again, not important. But this is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 second generation. And this is something that I've been wanting for a while. The third gen is like $10 more on Amazon, so I went with the second gen, and we're gonna unbox it for you. I'm not gonna do the unboxing here. Well, at least I will, but I'm gonna, like, the actual unboxing part, I'm gonna skip because that's kind of boring. I'll skip to where I'm like taking things out of the box. So we're gonna see what we have inside of the Scarlett 2i2 box. Okay, here's the funny thing about this already is the fact that I just opened the box that's on there on my floor right now, and what comes inside of it? Another box. And what's funny about this is that the packaging, the Amazon packaging, was its own little separate packaging. And then in that packaging was the box, and in that box was another box. Just thought that was really funny, and I thought that would be really funny to you guys. Also, remember that it includes Ableton Live Lite, which means I can do a lot more music production, which means I can do more with the music channel, which is amazing. And if you guys don't already have yourself subscribed to that channel, please do so. I have a lot of, I love to do music as well as do other YouTube gaming videos and stuff. So you can always find my music channel in the, I think it's in the description, but it's also on the front page of my channel, so it's very easy to find. I've got some pro tools and stuff for the creative pack. And yeah, so let's get into what this box has to offer for us. So first things first, without showing kind of the top of the box, because it has my bundle code for the serial number or whatever, the software. It comes with the safety instructions, which is good to read. I'm not going to read them here now, but that's kind of the first thing. I took out this newer Phantom Power Supply just because I didn't think, I thought I was going to need it, but I read online that you actually don't need it because the Focusrite, let's see here, the actual interface itself, if I can get it out of the box with one hand, the actual interface itself comes with a little button for Phantom Power right there, 48 volts. So this is the box. This is it's actually got some good heft to it. Normal other boxes, I've heard from other channels that this is a very lightweight box, but to me, this has a lot of heft to it, actually, for how small it is. Well, let's go inside of the packaging, kind of figure out how buttons work and stuff like that. Alright, so this is what the box looks like outside of it. You've got the dials and stuff to turn your gain up and stuff like that, which is really cool. You can switch it from line. I'm sorry, I bite my fingernails, so it looks disgusting to you, and I apologize for that. You can switch it from line to instrument, because depending on what you use for line, you'll need definitely more of a connection between an instrument where you don't need as much. And if you have it set to instrument and you have the 48 volt, it's the 40. Yeah, I think if you had the 48 volts on and you switch it to instrument, you want to really make sure you don't do that. Otherwise, you're going to blow something in your pickups and stuff like that. But it's got two lines for either XLR or 1/4 inch. You've got your direct monitor button right here where you can direct monitor on, and you can plug in a pair of headphones in order to be able to hear yourself in your headphones. I'm going to leave that off because I don't think I'm going to need that right too much yet. You've got your monitor, so you can turn your monitoring up for the volume for you guys to hear, which we'll get into that in a bit. And then you've got your output volume, which will make it louder and softer depending on how your headphones are. So inside the box as well, let me put that aside real quick. Inside the box as well, if I can... Oh, this is also taped. So I'm going to try and push it out as best as possible. It also comes with this box. That's annoying. It comes with this cable where it's a USB to USB-B cable, and you plug it into the back of the Focusrite and into the back of your computer. I don't recommend using the front ports of the computer because that generates a lot of background noise and hiss, and that's not recommended, especially when you want to buy this for recording music and stuff like that. I do not recommend that at all. You've got yourself this red cord. I like the red color to this cord too. I think it's really cool. Got a little nice bread tie here. I think I'm gonna actually keep that for like bags of chips and stuff like that. That's random, but it was on my mind. But we're gonna go ahead and plug this in, and I'll see you guys on the computer when we find out how this actually sounds. All right, so now we're gonna do some tests with the Audacity. Now, you guys, thanks Acrobat for interrupting my video again. So this is going to be the testing of not only the how it sounds, but the frequency response, because the microphone by itself and my motherboard's sound and stuff, when I have to get rid of the hiss before I have the interface, I had to actually go into the settings and I needed to like put a noise cancellation on it, and it dropped a lot of the bass in my voice. So I'm trying to talk as like low as possible to try and get some of that bass effect to see if we can actually hear that. So I'm going to continue that when we figure out how this is going to sound. So I'm just going to do a short recording clip of my intro, but in a deep voice. So let's test this out. What's up, guys? It's Devin, or ThatChildGamer. Welcome to another Doki Doki Literature Club video. I'm talking into the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 2nd Gen to find out the frequency response as opposed to what it used to be on the channel before I got the interface. I am now going to do a B sound and a P sound to test explosions in the microphone, and see how that responds to the interface. Has nothing to do with it. I just want to test to see how it sounds like in comparison to what it did before. So if we take this recording right now and just play back what it sounds like now. What's up, guys? It's Devin, or ThatChildGamer. Welcome to another dope. Already you can tell that a lot of the hissing sound in the video or in the voice is just non-existent, because of the amazing preamps that this Focusrite has to offer. I don't remember what they are called. I don't remember what preamps they actually are using, but they're supposed to be really good quality. And you can't hear any of that hiss, at least not on a normal level volume. I'm sure that if I had turned everything way up, you'd probably be able to hear a little bit of it. But for YouTube purposes, this sounds much better. What's up, guys? It's Devin, or ThatChildGamer. Welcome to another Doki Doki Literature Club video. I'm talking into the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 2nd Gen to find out the frequency response as opposed to what it used to be on the channel before I got the interface. I am now going to do a B sound and a P sound to test. I love that you can hear the truck in the background. That's amazing. I'm sorry if my webcam's a little bit like messed up again. I had to actually move my computer around, and I had to actually my current speakers. I actually had to switch their power. Like, I used to plug them into the back of my computer for power, but I actually had to switch to wall power, DC power, in order to actually have room for my USB for the Focusrite, because I don't have any other working USBs on the back of my computer, and like I said, I don't want to use the front ones because I feel like that would promote a lot more hissing. But this sounds really, really good. Now that we know what the voice itself sounds like, I want to find out what it sounds like to plug in a guitar and play what a guitar would sound like, and then after that, I think we're going to test the noise floor to find out how high this thing needs to actually be before you start to hear a lot of the hissing and the noise floor that this microphone has to offer. Again, it's not a very expensive microphone. It's a $20 newer NW800, so it's the lowest of the low for YouTube quality and stuff like that. So I'll be right back when I grab my guitar and plug it in. Alrighty, I grabbed a heavy pick. I shouldn't have grabbed a heavy pick because it's an electric guitar and probably wouldn't sound as good. Should probably turn the gain up on that. or switch it to instrument. Make sure that when you are recording instrument, switch to instrument. Otherwise, you could have problems. So we're going to record a little bit of this. You guys can already hear what that sort of sounds like, but we're going to see what this actually sounds like on my end. That's not what I wanted. So that sounded absolutely... I starting to get a little bit louder over there, so I'm hoping that that doesn't mean I was peaking, because I wasn't paying attention to that. I've been waiting a long time for this moment to come. I'm destined for anything at all. Is it me, or did I like really sound like Billy Joe for no reason at all? I have no idea how that sounded, like very similar, but that's kind of the gist of the instrument, and that's sort of kind of what that sounds like. I'm going to quickly put this back on like behind me or something like that, and we're going to test out more along the sides of the noise floor. Alrighty, so now that we have that, we're going to quickly just turn this up. I'm not going to really hear this until I hear it in like the post-processing and stuff like that. But you guys are going to hear sort of what the noise floor is with this Scarlett machine. So we're going to start down at the bottom and kind of raise the gain as we go on. Right now I'm at about 25%, and even that right now is like wicked loud. Now we're at about 50%, 75%, 100%. And now we're back to normal. So that's sort of the noise floor on what this has to offer, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be a pretty big noise floor, considering this is a very, very, very noisy mic in general. So we're gonna sort of, I'm gonna look back at that. You guys are gonna know exactly what that's gonna sound like, but I'm gonna look back at this, find out what it sounds like, and all that fun stuff. There's one more thing I do want to test, before we end off this sort of review video, and then I'll get into my thoughts of it, and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and test acoustics on it, because I know that some people like to record acoustic guitar. And all that fun stuff. So I want to see how that does sound on the microphone now with the interface as well, using their preamps. So let's get into it. I always like to have, when I record guitar, I like to have it like sort of in between the body of the guitar as well as in between the fretboard. So I'll put the microphone, I'll face it down like this, if that makes sense. And then I'll play it from sort of an angle where it's not too close to the guitar's like hole, because then it overblows everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and record. I'm gonna delete this track and start fresh, just because this is sort of a long track already. So we're gonna go ahead and record, and we're gonna start hearing what the guitar sounds like. What's a good song that I know? Alright, I was just testing kind of the resonation there with the microphone as well. What's all these music terms mean, Devin? I don't know. But that's sort of what that sounds like. So now we're going to see how that sounds. Let me pause that real quick. That's enough recording for that. And we're going to see what this sounds like. My terrible guitar skills. I love it. I haven't played that in such a long time. What's a good song that I know? I think in general the acoustics for this microphone isn't that great. because this wasn't really built for like this wasn't really built for studio recording and stuff like that. So this doesn't sound bad, but it's not something you'd want to put in like a studio like recording on a CD or on an album and stuff like that. That's not what you want to use this for. If you were to get like a Shure SM57, now that would be a much better microphone to use with the Focusrite Scarlett and stuff like that. So even an AT2020 and stuff, that those microphones sound much better than what this one can offer you. So if you want to start YouTube, this is a great mic. If you want to go into like music composition and stuff, I'd suggest at least buying an MXL 990 or 991. There's actually a bundle for $100 on Amazon that gives you both of them. One's specifically made for instrument recording and one specifically made for your vocals. So if you want to start small with like a cheap, setup, I would go with that bundle because you're going to definitely need that if you want to start music recording. And for YouTube purposes, like what I use it mostly for, I think this is just fine, and I enjoy that. I definitely enjoy doing that. So let's talk about what we got going for the Focusrite interface right here. I don't want to like move it around because it's kind of sitting back here and it's doing its job, just sitting there waiting for things to be plugged into it. But for the most part, I think I really like this. I was a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? I was a bit curious, I'll say. I wasn't concerned or anything like that because I kind of figured that the majority of people say this is a great interface. But for the most part, I definitely have seen the people out there who says, "Oh, don't even bother. If you want to get this, get a better one like the DBX or stuff like that. Wait, save your money and stuff like that." Well, there's other goods and there's bads and goods about this. For the 2i2, you've got no MIDI ports, and it's not a big deal because not a lot of people really use the MIDI anyway. Most people kind of stick to like the in-ground presets, stuff like their programs and stuff like that. And for anything that they use for actual keys and stuff like that, I feel like most people that I've met at least have gone for the USB side of things. That's actually what I use. My piano's not there. I don't know why I'm pointing back there. But for the most part, that's not a big deal. Another really thing that I was curious about was a lot of people said that it's not studio quality, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? And people were saying that the quality is about the same as your cheap $50 interface or whatever. I'm like, I paid $150 for this. I'm like, I don't want to buy something that's going to be $50 worth. But after listening to like on YouTube videos and stuff of like the Behringer, the cheap Behringers and stuff that are like solo inputs and stuff like that. For the most part, the Scarlett, I honestly do believe sounds just that much better. And I think for having two inputs and stuff, I think it's great. The 2i4 has the MIDI, but I didn't buy the 2i4 because that's more expensive. And I wasn't looking for MIDI at the point right now because I'm not using MIDI currently. And the fact that now I can start working towards a better microphone, I would love to get the MXL 990 bundle with the 991 as well. And I want to be able to use the new W800 and the 990 for in-room collabs. Like me and my brother played Wii Sports on a stream recently. Sounded terrible because we had to use the webcam mic because that's the only way to be able to pick up both of our things. If I buy another boom arm, we can set up two microphones and quality will be much better on those videos. So that's a big reason why I bought the 2i2 and not the Solo, because I wanted to have two lines for two microphones. The Solo has one line and one instrument plug-in, so I wasn't able to really work with that. So I decided to save it for the 2i2. Here it is, and I think I'm very enjoying it, and I can't wait to use it for future videos. And for the most part, I don't think I'm going to be having to do too much post-processing in the videos now because the hiss is dramatically decreased. So I'm really proud of that, what Focusrite can do. The quality of its products are amazing. I love it. And once I find my adapter to my 3.5 millimeter to my 1/4 inch, once I get that adapter, if I find it anywhere, I want to start using I want to start using the Focusrite. Right now it's set to my Kraken, but I want to set it to the USB because I feel like the preamps for the audio and stuff would sound so much better in the Focusrite. But as of right now, I'm stuck using the my Krakens, so I can't actually hear myself right now. I'd have to do actual testing recording like what we just did. So, but that's kind of the smallest downside ever. So I apologize. I couldn't, really monitor it and show you guys what the monitoring is like. But if you go to other videos and stuff like that, you guys can easily sort of see how that is. But without further ado, I think I am going to leave it here. I love how the entire time it's just Sayori in the background. I love it. I'm a Sayori freak. I'm sorry. But, again, this is a very different video, and I actually really enjoyed making it because I thought it would be kind of cool to share my thoughts on a better interface and, better equipment and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to make up for not making an update video on the graphics card I bought back, like, in the summer. I bought a graphics card that's much better, and I have told you guys about it plenty of times, but I never made an actual video on it of like the installment and stuff like that, and I apologize for that. So this is kind of making up for it, where I make myself unbox the video in front of you guys, or at least unbox the 3 packages it came in. And eventually I want to start moving over to Ableton because that's the program it comes with, and it's a great start for music production. You get like 8 tracks for free. I don't even use 8 tracks, I don't think. And then you can easily make amazing music, and it comes with a bunch of different pre-built instruments, I think, and it's got a lot of drums variants. So for Doki Doki music-wise, for the mod, be on the lookout for music that doesn't sound similar to each other anymore. So without further ado, I'm going to leave it here. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love it at the channel. Guys, we got a Discord. Come check me out outside of YouTube. It's going to be a fun time for all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. I'll see you guys in my next one. Goodbye.